All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation. Another special edition live stream podcast. Jay Ellis, CP from Knicks Fan TV. My man Jay Ellis from Knick of Time Show. Special guest in the building, Jay Ellis. He played for the New York Knicks from 2014 and 2016. Second team All Rookie team in his rookie year.
Yep.
Goes by the name of Langston Galloway, man. Langston, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show, bro.
Man, glad to be on. Thank you guys for having me on. It's exciting.
Absolutely.
To talk about, my Knick days,
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Talk about it.
Absolutely. Happy to have you on and definitely to just spend some time with the fans during these tough times, man. But let's start with you. You know, the season ended so abruptly for you guys. You know, how have you been kind of adjusting to this kind of new normal, and what have you been doing to kind of stay fresh?
Yeah, no, I've kind of put together a makeshift gym in the backyard. Me and my wife, we've been just training, she's been trying to work on her body. I'm trying to work on staying in shape. So that's been like keeping me pretty busy. And then I kind of picked up a class as well. So I'm doing I'm getting my certification to be a personal trainer.
Oh, nice.
So once basketball, if I want to go and proceed in that lane, I can kind of go down that route. So just keep myself busy. A lot of Zoom calls, a lot of time with my son. So it's been great.
That's dope. Family time is always good, I'm sure, when spend so much time training and being on the road. Nothing has really been official yet in terms of resuming the season, but if they are gonna start playing again, mentally, physically, how do you feel about that? You feel like you be willing to play with no fans and kind of under these circumstances?
I actually think it'd be great. Get opportunity just to, bond, get camaraderie with the team, get opportunity it's just you against other team, and that's what it would come down to. That's what it is every single night. It's just that when you have those fans there, that's what makes the game even just takes it to a whole other level. And I think that right now with everything going on, I think this would be perfect timing for the fans to kind of see, hey, look, basketball's still going on, and for them to tune in on TV. But it's always tough when you don't have the fans in the crowd, but it is what it is right now.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting, man. Definitely gonna be interesting, boy.
It's like no more home court advantage almost.
Yeah,
at all.
No more home court advantage, man. So on the basketball front, 2014, your dream was to make it to the NBA, coming out of St. Joe's, and about 60 picks were named, but your name wasn't called, man. What was that draft night like for you, and did you kind of feel like your dreams were derailed when you didn't hear your name called?
I wouldn't say derailed, but it was definitely an eye opener. A couple of teams told me, "Hey, we might take a shot on you in the second round," and kind of not saying I trusted in them and saying, "Hey, look, they were going to take a shot at me," but just kept my heart and all my dreams and aspirations that hey, look, but hear my name called, that'd be amazing. But like you said, 60 picks went by and didn't hear my name called, and took the night to just think about everything, think about my next steps, if I wanted to go overseas and play and chase the money, or did I want to stay, locally and try to chase my dreams. And that's what I ended up choosing. I ended up saying, hey, look, I'd rather stay stateside and chase this dream, because I didn't have a family at the time, just me, my girlfriend, which is now my wife, and then no son. So it was important for me to make that decision. And I think my family, they enjoyed it as well, because they were able to come and see me, and I wasn't too far away.
Absolutely. So after you decided to kind of stay here in the U.S., what was the process? What was the post-draft process like? Because was it like just the Knicks trying to connect with you, or was there like other teams coming after you, or what was that like?
Yeah, so I had like two or three teams that kind of me and my agent had kind of looked at their rosters and said, hey, look, this is how we can kind of pick and choose which team would fit my game, and then also, whose team that I can kind of go in and try to make my own spot. And I think that was my mindset the whole time. Is like, hey, which team presented that best chance? And the Knicks was definitely that fit. So I went from there to coming up to New York just to get ready for training camp for summer league.
Right.
And then once we left for summer league, then hey, it was from then on out just taking day by day in the gym, just getting after trying to get a spot to make that roster going in the training camp.
Yeah, because the Knicks had a lot of guards there. Actually, I think they had a Jose Calderon. They had Shane Larkin.
Shane Larkin was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then you're kind of a combo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know your call up day was like January 7, 2015.
Right.
Yeah, you kind of came up. Can you describe what that day was like for you?
Man, that was it was a lot of anticipation, a lot of anxiety, a lot of anxiousness as well. I was like probably the week leading up into that, like everybody's like, yo, like you gonna get called up, man. Which team you think gonna call you up? This and that. I'm just like, bro, like, look, I just gotta get to, play these games and take care of what I can take care of. And then lo and behold, that day came, and I think we had practice that day, and nothing, no calls, no nothing yet. And then all of a sudden, late in the afternoon, I got the call. Allen Houston called me up and was like, yo, like Knicks are gonna call you up, and look, you got to go catch a train right now. So I literally, they had a car come pick me up, we literally headed down to Penn Station, and I caught a train all the way down to DC for the game the next night.
Oh, so you rode the train that moment, played in Washington. I think it was the Washington game was your first game.
Yeah, it was. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sure, no,
that's caught the train. Yeah, caught the train. Played there. Super nervous. But I went out there, played. I mean, I had a decent night, 7 points. But then it was crazy because it was a back-to-back. So the first night I'm playing John Wall and them. Second night I'm playing James Harden and them. I'm like, my boys and them are texting me like, yo, like, don't get crossed up, man. You get crossed up, like, you're done.
Oh, yeah, because like, Harden will point at you and cross you.
Man, I'm like going crazy in my mind. Like, I can't get crossed up, man. It's on TNT. Like, I got to go out here and play well. But, it was great. Great experience. Great experience.
It actually kind of works out for you, too, because, you got your butterflies out that first night, and then you get that back-to-back. And you kind of had – I mean, even though the Knicks kind of got washed a little bit, but you had a game, you kind of got to work the butterflies out. It's nothing like having that game right after to get all that stuff out of you. So can you explain to us your Garden debut and how did that go?
Yeah, what was that Garden debut like, man? When those bright lights came on and you first entered the court?
I remember some things on that. We lost, but I remember some plays. I remember some, yeah.
Yeah. Nah, like, kind of rewinding a little bit. So preseason, I had a chance to play in the Garden a couple of times, and it was kind of reminiscent of all that, like playing in the Garden preseason, getting a couple opportunities to play here and there when it was like blowout games and whatnot. Then going from there, like fast forward all the way till getting that opportunity, my first call up, getting, like I said, getting the jitters out in DC. But then once I got the opportunity to play that second night, like on a back-to-back, felt good. I'm like, man, I just got to go out here and just play. Just go out here and not worry about nothing else. And I was just like a little kid in the candy store. Just didn't care what, whatever happened. I was just going out there just to play hard and see what I can kind of make happen on the court.
Yeah, I think you ended the game with like 19 points or something. It was like
you were like 19.
Mm-hmm. Like the first Knicks person to score over 18 points since Patrick Ewing or something like that. Yeah, that was a big game.
Yeah. I broke his record, and I don't know if it's been broken since then, but it was pretty cool when they told me that probably like weeks after that. It was like, yo, like we gotta have you sign this and frame it up, and I was like, oh, that's dope, man. But I was so focused in the moment, like I really wasn't worried about all the accolades. I was just like, hey, look, if I can just take it one day at a time, and just get to like complete that first 10 day, get that second 10 day. And then,
yeah, I mean, on the 10 day, did you feel like, when you're getting a 10-day contract, or do you feel that pressure to really perform to get that long term? Like, what's that feeling like?
It's crazy because my first 10 day, right? It was me, and then I'm trying to think.
Lou
I
Amundsen?
think toward what's that?
Lou Amundsen?
Yeah. So I'm not sure if they came in the second 10-day or they came that first 10-day with me. But yeah, when Lou and Lance got there, they really like kept me contained because I was like in my mind, like, man, like I'm playing great, man. Like they gonna sign me this and that. And Lance and Lou kept just saying, bro, like just take it one day at a time, man. Like don't worry about the rest of the season. Like you take it one day at a time, it's gonna work out. And I remember I took that like to heart. Like I remember that like every single day thinking like what they said and reminisced in my head, like just take it one day at a time. And I remember like people were like coming up to me, approaching me, man, you're doing great, this and that. But I'm like, man, look, we're not winning. So it didn't matter to me. I was just like all focused on winning.
Yeah.
And just the numbers came, but I was more focused on winning than anything.
Yeah, I feel like Melo was even kind of hyped because there was a point where you were hitting a lot of last second 3-point shots, and Melo even came out and he was kind of like, he kind of compared you to Jeremy Lin in that fearlessness you had to take that last shot, and you made a name for yourself in that little short run with the Knicks hitting those last shots for real.
Yeah. Nah, I remember Melo, man. He gave me a lot of confidence, man, and that's why I always respect Melo and respect all that he does because he was like a big mentor for me. He really was like in my corner. He always would like exude like energy for me. You know, always like, hey, do this, do that, and I really took that to heart, and it really helped out. For going on and every single day. Now, I mean, looking back, I'm like, man, look, it really has paid off for me.
What was some of did they haze you at all when you first came up in January, like Melo and Stat? Like what was some of those rookie duties that you had to do? They throw popcorn in your car or something?
I didn't even have a car at the time. I was they had a car service for me and all that. So I didn't even have none of that. But they really kept it simple. I mean, they only told me like, hey, get stuff for them. Like if they needed me to get like food or chicken or whatever they wanted at the time, I was like, cool, I'm gonna go get that. I really didn't, make a big fuss about it. I just say did my duties and kept my head down because I was just look, I was a new kid on the block that's trying to make a name for myself.
True indeed, man. We're talking to Langston Galloway, former New York Knick, currently point guard for the Pistons. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Tonight's hashtag, we didn't do the hashtag for tonight.
We didn't do
tonight's hashtag. Do a hashtag LG9 to salute Langston Galloway. Throw a hashtag LG9 in the chat to salute Langston. Langston, that first year, man, it was like you said, there wasn't a lot of winning. One of the worst Knick teams in franchise history, only 17 wins. We know we had Phil coming in, Derek Fisher, and all of that. What do you think was the primary cause of that season being such a wash? Like, was the triangle a big issue in terms of getting you guys, the chemistry coming together from the offensive end?
No, it wasn't chemistry or nothing like that. I just think that we had a lot of injuries. Stat only played a handful of games when I was there. Melo, he was out for the season. I think Tim Hardaway, he got hurt a couple times.
Yeah.
I mean, we were banged up, and then they started having 10-day guys left and right coming in, and so it was tough because it's like everybody was just so banged up, and we just had to have a revolving door with people coming in and out. But it was a great experience because every single night, like playing in the Garden, man, it was nothing like it. And I enjoyed my experience playing for the Knicks and man, the fans. I mean, they came every single night. We was losing, blown out, whatever. They were still there.
You're still there.
They're
still there, man. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So I mean, after your second season with the Knicks, you ended up signing with the Pelicans. What was the impetus with that offseason move? Did the Knicks not offer you any deal, or did you feel like you wanted to be closer to home?
No, the Knicks definitely offered me a deal. But like the Pelicans came last second, was like, hey, look, we have a deal on the table, and to play back home, like that was my dream, to go back home and play in front of my family, my friends. So I was like, man, I'm all for it. So I ended up going down to New Orleans and playing, and that was a great year, just being back home playing, because I hadn't played in Louisiana since I was in high school. So I was like, man, this is a great experience. But a lot of people thought I got traded from the Knicks to the Pelicans, but it was like, nah, I signed with the Pelicans, and that kind of transpired from there when I did get traded later on in the season.
Yeah, because the Knicks definitely wanted you, because I remember they played you every fourth quarter. I mean, you didn't get the minutes you did from the first season, but they had you closing a lot, so I know they wanted you for sure. I know it hurt.
Yeah, no. D Fish and all those guys, man, they really believed in me, trusted in me, and they put the ball in my hands most of the time to make a play or try to finish off games. So that was cool. That was cool to get those experiences, especially early on in my career.
Yeah. So, sorry, go ahead, CB.
No, I was saying, Langston, as you say, you mentioned you got to play in front of your hometown, with the Pelicans. Mid-season, you get traded to the Kings. Talk about what is it like kind of, having to deal with that side of the business where your future is never really set in stone. I mean, now you're in your 6th year now, but your 4th team, what is that like kind of, dealing with that side of the business?
Man, it really wakes you up. I tell a lot of young guys that come in the locker room nowadays, like from my standpoint, like not comparing anybody's journey to mine, being undrafted and whatnot, but it's just like you can never just relax. You always got to be paranoid. You always got to have a mentality of like every single day is not promised, and it's just like life. Every day is not promised in this league. And I think that's what really sticks in my mind. Every single opportunity I get to practice, play, meeting fans, I just whatever. It's an opportunity for me to impress and talk about my journey in my life. So it's always important, man, because when I went through that trade, I really I hit a downfall. Like, man, like this can't be what it's like. Getting traded from home to another team.
Man. Gotta be tough.
Man.
But
Sheesh.
yeah, but after that, I really learned. It was a great lesson that taught me early on. Man, this thing ain't promising for sure.
That's right. Yeah. So I mean, once you got to Detroit, there came a time where things started to change towards the middle of the season. Blake Griffin was injured, Andre Drummond's traded, and Reggie Jackson is traded. So you kind of had to assume a leadership role. So tell me, like, the transition. How did you transition from your being one of the guys to just kind of being one of the voices on the court?
It's crazy because like that the middle way through the season, like you said, the trade deadline really put a lot of guys just up in arms. They didn't know what to expect. And going from, I'm still one of the older guys in the locker room, but I go from the middle of the pack with just like, just a voice to reason with, to now I'm the oldest guy playing. Other guys were kind of banged up at the time, so I'm the only one on the court. So it's like, it's crazy to think that, but guys really, they depended on me. They looked at me as like, hey, look, what do we need to do in this situation, or just speaking up in certain situations. So I've always spoken up, no matter if I was the youngest guy, the oldest guy, but it really, I really could tell that guys really listened and really wanted to hear my aspect of the game.
Responsibility of a guard, yeah, for sure.
True story.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, I guess guys like Christian Wood, because I feel like he started to shine too as this trade time started opening up, and he took a similar path that you did. So, kind of, what did you make of Christian Wood's game after all that stuff happened?
No, he really showed me a lot, especially in preseason. Like his athleticism, he could really shoot the ball. Like, I mean, most of the guys nowadays is like tall, lanky guys that can really, put the ball on the ground, but also too can knock down shots.
Right.
And he really made a name for himself, because all he needed was opportunity, and he ran with that opportunity once he got it. Once they made some decisions to go a different direction.
Indeed.
Langston, six years in the game after coming in undrafted. You're looking at another free agency this summer. What do you think? What are you going to prioritize this free agency? What are some of the things that's going to be important to you? And would you consider the Knicks as a potential destination if they call?
We need shooting.
Nah, I mean,
yeah, we need shooting badly, bro. Badly.
I don't know if you saw the standings in our 3-point shooting. It's kind of at the bottom. So
facts.
I'm open to whatever this summer. I mean, whatever is best for my family and me to, make a decision to go wherever. I'm open. But I really made a mark in Detroit, and I really enjoyed everything about Detroit. So if they came calling, I would love to stay, but I'm always open to go wherever else.
That definitely respect that.
All right.
You mentioned your first night in the league, first 2 nights, you had a John Wall, then a James Harden matchup. You've been known for your defense in the league. Who would you say, 6 years in, has been your 3 toughest matchups?
Being undersized, I really have had, not saying problems, but guys that are really either like the Isaiah Thomases of the world, like smaller, quicker, shiftier, like those type of guys have always given me problems because they're underneath me. Like I'm like smaller, but then they're even smaller than me. And then,
Kemba's and Isaiah's.
Right. And then playing against guys like that are bigger than me as well. That have always like even more physical than I am. Matching up against D Wade and guys along that caliber. And I mean, hey, what can you say? I mean, he's a Hall of Famer for a reason, and I enjoyed the matchups that I've had with him in his career.
That's what's up, man. So shifting gears to the entrepreneurship tip. LG Kicks. Tell us about LG Kicks and what sparked your passion for the sneaker game.
Yeah, so I've always been enthusiast of buying sneakers and collecting the magazines, the slams, the East Bays, and whatnot. But I was like, hey, look, I'm collecting all these sneakers and in different like sneaker conventions and all that. I was like, man, I might as well start something of my own that can kind of relate to the fans.
There you go.
And LG Kicks is all about your story, your collection, and it's all about meeting new people and they having their own stories. And I enjoy hearing somebody say, man, this is my first pair of shoes I ever bought. Like this is a story, or relating to the people, the fans in New York. Like, hey man, I got some butters, man. I gotta rock these every day. So everybody has a story. Everybody has a story with the sneaker game, but I mean, I've enjoyed just starting from the ground up, and then now having apparel and eventually, hey, maybe one day having a sneaker store or something like that along the line. So just enjoying the journey of being in the sneaker culture.
That's dope, man. What would you say is your favorite pair of all time?
Favorite what?
Favorite pair of kicks of all time.
Oh, favorite pair. Oh man, the Jordan 13, man. He got games, man. That's my favorite of all time, man. All time.
Yeah, the He Got Games are definitely dope. Did you get the 13, the Flints that they released? They did a sneak attack, man, twice on us during Last Dance.
They've been doing these sneak drops and whatnot, man. The shock drops, I guess that's what they call them, but I haven't picked up none of them.
Yo, I love the Flints. The Flints are the blue and gray 13s. And I knew they were going to do a sneak attack, man. I knew it, JL. Right. When they put the Last Dance on, I said, yo, I know Sneakers app is going to release some exclusive Jordans. For the first 2 episodes, they did the 5s.
Yeah, my partner's just talking about that.
Yeah, and then the last 2, they did the Flints. I don't know. Langston, what would you say is like your top 5 J's you got?
Man, 13s. I mean, not no specific order. 13s. Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with the 11s. Crazy, man. I'm a big 16, like a Jordan 16 guy. Interesting. I love 16.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think the 18s as well. And then probably the 10s.
Yeah.
Like those probably those top 5.
I probably fell off. After the Ferraris, I probably fell off, man. I would have to go definitely the 11s. Can't go wrong with the patent leathers for sure.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
The 13s, definitely, basically every colorway. I like the 3s. I think the 3s are one of some of the most comfortable ones. And the 12s as well. I had the playoffs, the black and white ones, those 12s. I sold those, actually. I'm kind of tight. I sold them, but yeah, those are my joints, man. And the 5s. I'm a big fan of the 5s as well, man. Yes, sir. We're talking to Langston Galloway. Salute to everybody in the chat. Throw a LG9 in the chat to salute Langston. Langston, you also signed a sneaker deal with Q4. What was the genesis behind linking up with them?
Yeah, I wanted to kind of create my own lane, and this was kind of time around the time. Oh, here go my little man right here. What's up, man? You good?
Always on duty.
Always on duty, man.
Go ahead. Mama coming right now. I'm gonna come in there in a minute, okay? I'm gonna come in there. There you go. That's the life we live now, man.
That's the life we live, man. Fatherhood, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing.
I haven't checked in yet, but maybe one day we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were saying Q4. How did you guys come together?
Yeah. So actually, one of my guys, he connected us via Instagram. Really, I kind of saw they were kind of up and coming brand, and I was just starting LG Kicks, and I was like, man, this might be something dope that kind of create my own lane, and then also like the biggest thing for me was like, man, if I can get the color restriction to come off, I can kind of do my own thing. And they actually like said going forward, hey, we'll give you equity in the company, and being the entrepreneur that I am, I was like, man, this might be a great opportunity. Small up and coming brand, they might blow up if I do well in the court. And then all of a sudden the color restriction and all that started coming off, and it really started taking off because I was able to kind of write a new story. I mean, I know a lot of guys, they look at the higher up kicks and whatnot, but I was like, man, that's dope and all, but I want to do something different, do something along my own path and create my own lane. So customizing my kicks have really taken me a long way with like the branding of Q4 Sports.
That's dope, man. And speaking of the customs, man, I love the Black History months that you did when you came back to the Garden. You and your customizer Andrew with Spike, Patrick Ewing, and Walt Frazier on one side. Then you had Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Langston Galloway on the other side. I thought those were real dope. Those tributes.
Yeah. No, it was huge. They put those public figures and people that have made a mark in my life. And that's what's special is that, when you have able to customize the kick and working with a guy like Andrew Lewis, man, like he can really bring your dreams and like, your thoughts to life. And him doing that, man, it was dope to see that. And, how he kind of, put that all on a sneaker. I could rock it in the game. And then people like really take in moderation of like, man, this is dope.
Yeah, so you've been grinding for a minute, and you managed to get a custom pair of sneakers in the Basketball Hall of Fame. So, tell me how did that happen?
Yeah, so we had been thinking of putting out different shoes and different like cartoons, and then all of a sudden, me and Andrew came up with an idea. I was like, hey, look, if we can kind of create something that like is about a movie or something that like kind of relates, because I'm a 90s kid, so I'm like, if I can kind of get something that everybody like from the 90s relates to, and like, man, I grew up watching that or this and that, it would take off. And we kind of came up with a Toy Story pair, and we had Woody on one side, and we had Buzz on the other side.
That's nice.
And I mean, it was dope. We had a lot of details in there, and I remember every social media site, everybody had like got pictures of it, videos of it. I mean, it had taken off, and I probably think like a week or two after that, my PR guy was like, "Yo, I got a crazy idea. I'm thinking about. I'm gonna let you know." And then like he came back to me and was like, "Yo, I got this idea to put your shoes in the Hall of Fame." And I was like, "Do I have to give these up? Like, can I get another pair made?" And he was like, "Hey, I got to get a game worn pair."
Oh, and, man.
No, I have yet to be up there in the Hall of Fame to see them actually, but I can't wait to get that opportunity to see that.
That's dope, man. And I just think about like the whole evolution of the game, man. Even just watching Last Dance and the impact of Jordans on the culture. You go before that, you have the Converse with Dr. J and Magic and Larry. Even before that, you had Pumas and Clyde, and just seeing the evolution from those times to now. Now you with Q4, you got equity in the game. You have custom kicks in the Hall of Fame. They've allowed the players the freedom to express themselves in terms of the sneakers, and the whole culture is just booming right now, man. So I think it's real
Yep.
dope that you're getting into it and achieving all of these accolades. It's definitely dope,
For
man.
sure.
Definitely dope. From a business standpoint, who are some entrepreneurs that are kind of inspiring you as you kind of go along your journey?
I wouldn't pinpoint a specific like, hey, entrepreneur that like kind of I'm looking at and like, hey, can you mentor me and nothing like that. But I really look at like my family. My family's done a great job. I have one of my family members. He's like really into tech and different things like that. And he's kind of sparked my interest. He kind of you know push me a little bit to say, hey, look, I think you can kind of be in the realm that I'm doing and do your and have your own lane. And I like kind of ran with it. And then also to my wife. My wife is business savvy and has helped me along the way as well. So I think both of them have done a great job with pushing me in the right direction and not letting me fall, but making me crawl. And creating business plans and all that. So it's been good.
That's dope, man. You need a solid team behind you.
Yeah.
Absolutely, bro. Couple more questions and salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys.
Please
We're talking
do.
to Langston Galloway. Langston, 6 years in the game, like I said, coming in undrafted. What advice would you have to players who follow a similar path as you, both on and off the court? What would your advice be?
No, I think the biggest thing is definitely sacrifice. I think back to like all the nights, all the opportunities that I had. Um, I mean, I could have been out there partying. I could have been out there, hanging out with my friends and whatnot. But those opportunities is be in the gym and just thinking back to all the guys that rebounded for me, all the guys that put me in the position that I'm in. I think that's the biggest thing, and I put in a lot of hard work. I won't knock all the hard work that I put in because I had to first and foremost sacrifice, but also put in a lot of hard work. So yeah, just being dedicated to the game and a lot of sacrifice. I would say those two things will take you a long way.
Yeah, he wasn't too lit for New York, CP.
Nah, he definitely he handled himself well, and that's a dope testament. Like I said, 6 years in the game, you bet on yourself, and it certainly paid off. I just want to take a couple questions from the chat. Iller says, Langston, who's your favorite NBA player growing up?
Ooh, that's tough. Yeah, growing up, I probably had a couple guys I like looked up to was AI. AI was undersized, tough, gritty, like just hard nosed dude, and I used to love watching him play and all the things that he put his body through to sacrifice for the fans and for himself. AI was one. Chauncey Billups another one.
Dope.
Chauncey.
Big shot. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, big shots. I was always like growing up. I always hit big shots, and when I started like watching his game, I'm like, man, I feel like I could be like the next Chauncey, like how he hits big shots in big situations, and I enjoy that. I enjoy like doing that. And then I mean, I watched Michael Jordan and all those guys. Those guys, I feel like everybody's always watched the great Michael Jordans, the Kobe's. I remember watching Kobe when he scored 81, like on TV. Like I was sitting in my dad's room watching the game with him, and I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. And like, then I fall asleep, wake up the next morning, and like he had like 50 at the time, and then ends up with 81. I'm just like, yo, this dude's different, man.
Unreal, man. What about teams? Who's your favorite teams coming along? That's a question from Stupid Videos in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I actually never had a team. I never like supported one team. I always just was fan of players. Like I always just watched the best players and the guys that I enjoyed watching. And that was it. I never said, hey, look, this is my team. I'm a diehard whatever fan. So
that's what's up, man. Well, Langston, we definitely appreciate you giving us some time. Let the fans know about some of your other endeavors as well, where they can find you on the social media.
Yeah, LG Kicks, if you guys Instagram LG Kicks 9, and then I have my website lgkicks9.com. Have merch on there, so check that out. And then if you guys in the charitable the Langston Galloway Foundation, So I'm doing a lot of stuff right now, trying to help out the kids that aren't in school and not able to, afford the laptops and whatnot and tablets and all that. So just trying to help out as many kids as I can right now to, keep them dedicated and focusing on school, because that's what's going to get them to that next level if they want to pursue sports or, they want to go another route.
Absolutely, man. Well said, man. And we definitely wish you continued success, continued blessings. Be safe out there, man. If you guys make it back on the court, definitely good luck to you, man. Thanks again for coming on, bro.
Yeah, and check the kicks out. The kicks out, all right. Definitely check those out.
LG Kicks.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Langston Galloway, thanks again, man. Everybody throw LG9 in the chat. Langston, thanks again, man. Have a good evening, bro.
All right.
You guys too.
Yes, sir. All right. Langston Galloway, JL. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Good interview, man. Good interview, man. Definitely a down-to-earth dude. I always like the underdog story, JLs. You know what I mean?
Got to.
Always love the underdog story. Average NBA career is only 4 years, man. This guy came in undrafted, and he's 6 years in.
Yep, 6 years in. Made it on the and he had an up and down career, but he's still here, and it seems like he's on an up as of recently. So I mean, it's good time for him to kind of step up his game. So it seems I feel like he'll be around a little longer.
Career highs right now across the board. I mean, you pull his numbers up. I mean, I wasn't lying when I asked him if you want to come back to the Knicks. We need the shooters.
I wasn't either. We need shooters.
We need the shooters. I mean, right now he's career highs on he's averaging 10 points a game, 43% from the field, 40% from three, 55% effective field goal percentage. We could check the true shooter numbers. How many 3-point attempts? 5 attempts a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like the thing with Langston too is like when he got the time, he was able to kind of produce. And even if he wasn't producing, even though if he wasn't producing at certain points of the game, if the game was on a line, all of a sudden he kind of locked in and he hit those big shots for you. So yeah, man.
Yeah. Listen, for some people on those crappy teams, I mean, he was one of the few bright spots.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? He was definitely one of the few bright spots. So
it'll be interesting lineup to give RJ some spacing because he's not like
I'm telling you,
break you down point guard. But if you let he can still kind of hit people in passing lanes, and it kind of can still give RJ some room to handle the ball more and kick it out to a guy who can actually hit a three at a good click. So that'll be interesting.
True. True story, man. So to everybody in the chat, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. We got the icon, the General Chuck D in the chat, JLs.
Yeah, what up, Chuck?
You know what I mean? Salute to Chuck D. Hope you are staying safe. Salute to all the mods. Appreciate all the mods for patrolling the chat. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Shout out to the mods, Craig, Fritz, all you guys, man. Shout out to you guys.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so if you guys want to call in, talk about the interview, anything else that come across your mind, 657-383-1509. We'll be on for a couple more minutes, just wrapping up. Upcoming guest, Jay Ellis. We got the former Heisman Trophy winner. Put some respect on his name.
Yeah, put some respect
Charlie
on that guy's
Ward
name,
is coming through Thursday night, 7 p.m. Early one. So before you guys eat dinner, Charlie Ward is coming through. Mm-hmm. And man, we're gonna touch on those late 90s days and that 2000 series as well. So looking forward to it. They're definitely looking forward to it, man. On the Langston front, man, I like how he's really focusing on life after basketball, and entrepreneurship.
Smart.
That's just something that's very a passion of mine as well. So I like how if you go on his Instagram, man, he's on the grind. He's doing interviews, podcasts. Like he said, he's educating himself on the business side of things, on the sneaker game. Pursuing educational pursuits outside of his degree, just trying to sharpen his tool and be ready for life after hoops, man.
Yeah, man, that's how you gotta do it. Yeah, that's how you gotta do it, man. It's like, I mean, it didn't start out a passion of mine, but it's been a growing one. I started off on the outside art side and ended up in doing podcasts, linking up with you, and that's why we here right now, man, trying to expand ourselves.
That's it, man. That's it. trying to build a movement, man. So that's why when we tell people to hit that thumbs up button for your boys, it goes a long way, man. It goes a long way, man. Trying to build this thing up from nothing, and especially where the athletes are concerned. I mean, like I said, the average lifespan of an NBA player is 4 years. He's doing 6 undrafted. So
Yeah,
so
man.
he's well ahead of the game. But think about it. When you finish, what's the oldest player to go into the league? 40 something. By the time you finish, you got your whole life ahead of you to figure out what you're gonna do next. So this kid's 26 years old and he's trying to get those ducks in a row now. So that's definitely dope, man. Definitely makes sense.
Now a lot of people is getting millionaire checks at 24, 25, 26. So
true story.
If you start to plan right then and there that set some money on the side, start my side hustle up, side business, being a sneaker or what was he saying? Personal trainer or whatever. That's
personal
that's
trainer,
go.
venture capitalist as well. So
Mm-hmm.
man, Langston is doing the damn thing. Other news, Jay Ellis, we got 2 front office hires. One announced yesterday, one announced today. Yesterday was Wayne Perrin.
Mm-hmm.
Walt Perrin, 19-year veteran from the Utah Jazz organization, served as the vice president of player personnel with the Jazz for 19 years. He's going to come here as the new assistant GM and the director of college scouting. Then we also signed Frank Zanin. He is going to come in here as the new director of player personnel. Served in that role for the OKC Thunder. He was also a scout for the Thunder. Was with the Nets as well under Bobby Marks. So he's coming in as a seasoned vet as well.
Big moves,
man. What do you think about these this front office restructuring so far?
I mean, I've been kind of like skeptical of the Leon Rose hiring from the jump because I'm like, how are you gonna get a guy who hasn't have experience and have him run the team? But I have to say that I kind of like these moves. These guys are both kind of respected around the league. They both have a small town kind of mentality, and that's the kind of mentality the Knicks need to have when they're trying to rebuild this team. They need that small market mentality, and both of those guys have it. They work hard, they're relentless, and a time when scouting is probably the most important now because there's no basketball going on. You need to have guys who kind of do their due diligence, and that's what they've done. And Utah is evidence of all the work.
True.
That I forgot his name already.
Walt Perrin
put in. I keep want to say Scott Perry.
It's the new Ninja P in town.
It's the new Ninja P. You better get some new shirts. Ninja Squad up.
You better get some new shirts printed up because he could be he could be your new GM.
There is a new Perry. There could be a Perry.
A little Perry action going on. It's a new Ninja P in town, JL. Let's get ready.
That could
some
be
new shirts up, man.
It could be.
Yeah,
it could be.
But I couldn't agree with you more. I believe, and I had a Jazz insider on the show last night who has been covering the team for about 10 years for the NBC affiliate there, and he said the same thing. Walt Perrin has been operating as the Jazz are a small market team. They're not getting any big time free agents, so they have to be heavily invested in their scouting and covering all ends of the earth to find the best talent out there. 5 all-stars under his watch, JL, is guys that have been picked. Gobert, a late first round pick, Millsap, a second round pick. You had the Spider, who was 13. You had Gordon Hayward, number 9. So he's found some talent, man. You got to give him some credit. But I think the Knicks have to operate that way as well because, hey, we're not getting any free agents either, man. So at the end of the day, you got to build this thing. And so them bringing in these veterans, I think Rose surrounding himself with these veterans, Perrin, this guy Zanin now. We have to, again, start putting that foundation together. We're still going to be big fish hunting as long as James Dolan still owns the Knicks. This is what Leon Rose is going to be looking for. But in the meantime, let's get our ducks in a row and start to build this thing up.
Yeah, because the thing all these guys have in common, too, is they're all been around so long that their network is probably is going to be huge. Between Leon Rose, who's been in the CAA for I don't know how many years, to Scott Perry, who's been in the league for 20 years, and if you ask around the league, he's cool with everyone, to my other Ninja Perry, who's been around for 17, 18 years. Everybody's networked so long that when it comes down to first of all those guys are draft guys. So when it comes down to drafting people, when it comes down to making deals, I feel like we should be okay theoretically.
On paper.
Theoretically,
right?
Yeah.
On paper. Like I said, I like how we're starting to set this thing up. So definitely on board with that. Frank Zanin worked as a scout for the Sixers around the same time that Leon Rose was representing AI. So they definitely have some familiarity there. And Frank Zanin was actually Kobe's high school rival back in Philly. And, some of the guys on the beat have pulled up an old tweet from Kobe, rest in peace, who was repping Frank Zanin when he went to the Nets, basically saying that, he's a sharp mind and he was very deserving of the position. So the late, great Mamba, and he knows.
Yep.
JLs.
Mamba knows.
So, let's see how this all comes together. Next up is the coach.
Yeah, big one.
Next up is the coach, the big one. So, again, let's see, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Some super chats. Park City Dion, appreciate it. He says another dope interview. Number one show for the fans, by the fans. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. He didn't say hit that thumbs up button for you boys, else. I just said that myself. So hit that. Yeah, man.
That's fine.
Yeah, man. And we also got super chat from Cardi151. They say great show. So definitely appreciate Cardi. And once again, salute to everybody in the chat. If you're new in the chat, leave us a hashtag new, so we'll definitely shout you guys out. And yeah, man. What else we got on deck, JL? So who's in your chats you want to shout out?
Man, shout out to Kent Scott's here rolling. My guy Fritz always holding it down. I saw Corey Williams in here earlier. Shout out to Mike CP. My guy, Young Simba.
Young Simba back in the fold. We need him. He's an OG fan, man. Young Simba's been around for a while. He's been around for a while.
The OG Young Simba. Shout out to you, my guy.
Yes, sir.
Yep. MJK94. Shout out to you. Adele Chapman. Shout out to you as well. Probably Adele's been here. And John Talento is always chap hop.
He's John's always first. He'll come in like early afternoon, check in, say what up and everything, and then dip out. Then he's back. Right before the show starts, he's back. So. Definitely appreciate John Talento and appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. Let me shout out some of the hashtag news. Our Aries Lightworker, hashtag new. Prana, appreciate it. Ty Styles says hashtag new. Appreciate it. Stephen Fox, how you feeling, man? Ops Q is back, man. I haven't heard from Q in a little while. Edward Stalling, appreciate it, definitely. Frank Matos, he throws some palm trees in the chat. He always wants to let us know he's in warm weather, JL.
I thought you guys rubbing it. It's gonna be warm here. That's fine.
It's warming up. We getting it.
Yeah.
We getting there in New York, man. So all good as long as everybody's safe. True Story 163 Drill. Hashtag new. Zach Patton. Hashtag new. Welcome to the show. Hopefully hit that subscribe button and a notification bell so you don't miss it.
Yo, shout out to my guy Cody. Shout out Cody. The hashtag old. Guys been rocking
Cody,
mad long. Shout out to
Cody Emmanuel, man. We gotta hear from Cody when the draft picks back up. He's our scout on the low too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
he be peeping the Chicago.
yeah. Cody
draft boards
all over it. So Cody definitely call up. Shout out DJ Dana Burns. Hashtag new JLs. But he's been rocking with the Knicks since '88. So he's been here. They've been here since the Bomb Squad days.
All right.
Yeah.
I was 6.
Yeah, Bomb Squad days. Yeah, man. Shout out DJ Dana Burns. Make sure I did a dope episode on the Bomb Squad with my guy Gerald Brown. So definitely check that out in the video. Check out the Rasheed Wallace interview too, man. Check out that Sheed interview.
Yeah, that Sheed is official.
Yeah, official issue, man. Shout out to Rasheed for coming through. Big Surge sends us a super chat, Jay Ellis, and he says this. Hold on, I need to turn down the music for a second.
Wait, Surge?
Surge is back.
Surge!
And he sends
my guy.
He sends this message. Reports of my demise were exaggerated. Glad you're all safe.
All right. Yo, Surge has a way with words, I'll tell you that.
Surge has a way with words, man. Salute
Reports
to Surge.
of my demise.
Yep. Surge.
I need you to write for me, Surge.
Sergio is definitely back. Good to hear from you, man. Good to hear from you. Ari thought he was gone, man.
Yo, DJ, spin that.
Surge is back.
Yo, DJ, spin that.
Serge, you gotta call
DJ,
in.
spin that.
Call
Yo,
in.
DJ, spin that.
Yo, Oh, shout out to Dave. Yo, Dave, this Dave article is gonna be dropping tomorrow morning, so definitely shout out to Dave.
Shout out Knicks Fan TV.
Wrote
Dave.
a really good article on RJ Barrett.
Okay. That's what's up, man. So, yeah, I think that's it. Definitely salute to everybody who's joining us. Remember, once again, Charlie Ward, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, Thursday. I don't think he's going to be late, Jay. Well, you never know, man. You never know.
You never know.
Appreciate everybody's patience on this one. People got things to do, man. They're doing this thing for free, giving us their time, so we definitely appreciate it. All right, Jay, let's get out of here, man.
Yeah, man. Salute. Yo, thanks for everybody who's supporting Nick of Time. We are back doing the quarantine version of the show, trying to fix through all the little issues and stuff. New episode will be dropping tomorrow for the Nick of Time show, discussing all the stuff that was going on last week. So definitely try to look at that. It's going to be on youtube.com/Nick of Time show. Also, you can check stuff out on Soundcloud, iTunes, Google Play, and all that other stuff. Also, definitely got to check out the merch. Shout out to people who's buying merch. Also, check out the articles from my guy Ken. And Knicks Fan TV Day is gonna be dropping his tomorrow as well, so definitely look out for that on nickoftimeshow.com. And yeah, that's it, man. Shout out to you guys. Back to you, CP.
Yes, sir. Salute to you, JLs, and salute to everybody for tuning in, man. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up on for your boys. For your new viewers, remember the show is available in audio podcast format: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Alexa, Stitcher, and Google Play. For everybody who's an Apple Podcast listening, please leave us a review. It would definitely go a long way. And as usual, man, hit that thumbs up on for your boys. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Definitely. JLs, I think that super chat from Serge was definitely just like a preview warning shot for Ari. I don't know, man. I feel like something is cooking. I feel like something is cooking, man. I feel like something is cooking. You know what I mean?
The reports of my demise are exactly.
Yeah, he wanted to let it be known. He's cooking something. He's cooking something behind the scenes.
Oh, man. I want Serge to write for me, yo. I don't know what I want him to write for me, but I want him to write something for me. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to ask him.
Livingston Mills, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Good show, everybody. Once again, Charlie Ward this Thursday, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Yeah, man. Appreciate it, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure you guys check out some of our old videos. Leave us a comment. Hit that thumbs up